For all your t-shirt needs, check out TeePublic's Killer Selection. Follow the link in the description. Hey, what's up people? Pizzal here, and today I want to talk to you guys about the new MVD Rewind Collection 30th Anniversary Collector's Edition Blu-ray release for 1988's The Return of Swamp Thing. Now, this is partially going to be a review of the movie as well as a review of this Blu-ray release. And what can I say about The Return of Swamp Thing? I love this movie. I've loved this movie since I was a little kid. I prefer this to the original. Now, no disrespect to Wes Craven's Swamp Thing. I did a full review of the movie as well as the Scream Factory Blu-ray release a few months ago, so go check out that video. But The Return of Swamp Thing was constantly on cable television when I was growing up, and this movie has all of the elements that a growing boy needs. You've got the superhero elements in the film. You've got some great action sequences. The movie has a fantastic sense of humor about itself. And of course, because it is a Jim Wynorski film, there's a bevy of beauties on hand for you to look at. The story revolves around, of course, Swamp Thing, played yet again by Dick Durock, and he is pitted once again against the evil Dr. Arcane, again played by Louise Jourdan, who is attempting to unlock the secrets of immortality through genetic mutation. Swampy, aided by his love interest in the film, played by the lovely Heather Locklear, as well as two rapscallion young men, set out to end Dr. Arcane's reign of terror over the bayou once and for all. And as I said, this movie just has everything in it that you could possibly want as a kid growing up. Again, just a fantastic sense of humor about itself, some great action sequences. You've got Swampy, you've got the bevy of beauties, you've got the two little kids who are supplying some really great comic relief, you've got tons of one-liners, you've got some great practical effects in the film, some great practical makeup effects in the film. The creature effects are fantastic. You get a ton of really cool looking creatures like the Leech Man, the big-headed creature thing. You have like an Elephant Man type of thing. You've got the Wasp Man. You've just got a lot of really cool creatures also in The Return of Swamp Thing. And it's overall just a really well-made film. And I think this is the movie, or this is one of the movies that, you know, when you think of Jim Wynorski, you think of, you know what I mean, the kind of schlocky, good-natured, sleazy kind of horror movies that he's known for. I'm talking about stuff like Chopping Mall, Sorority House Massacre 2, Hard to Kill, stuff like that. But when you watch a movie like this, it lets you know that Jim Wynorski is actually a pretty versatile filmmaker, to be quite honest. Just look at his IMDb resume. You're going to see literally gotta be well over 100, if not nearing 200 movies. And you're talking about movies that span the genre gamut, from very family-friendly movies to very not family-friendly movies. Yeah, the cast is great in The Return of Swamp Thing. Everything about this movie is just tons of fun. I love this movie. I love it with all of my heart. If you've not seen The Return of Swamp Thing, by all means, go watch The Return of Swamp Thing. This Blu-ray from the MVD Rewind Collection would be a great way to introduce yourself to the film. If you're already a fan of The Return of Swamp Thing, you definitely want to look into picking up this Blu-ray from MVD Rewind. We get a very nice slipcover there with the original. Well, this actually wasn't the original theatrical poster art. I discovered while watching the interview with the commentary with Jim Wynorski, I should say. But you have some very nice artwork there on the slipcase. Under the slipcase, you have a reversible sleeve, but I dig this sleeve here because it says it is the 30th anniversary special collector's edition for the film. You get a DVD and a Blu-ray. The DVD is behind the mini poster. The Blu-ray is in the Blu-ray player, and there, of course, is the reversible sleeve with the same imagery from the slipcase. You get a mini poster, which is always very cool. Love that great artwork there. Very nice. As far as the picture quality and the sound quality on this release, this Blu-ray sports a new 2K transfer of a original 35mm print of the film. The picture quality and the sound quality on this release are both really good. I'd give them both 4 out of 5. As far as extras are concerned, we get an interview with Jim Wynorski at 17 minutes and 40 seconds in length. Mr. Wynorski discusses casting Heather Locklear, as well as some of the other actresses he considered for the role, including both Tracy Lords and Elizabeth Shue. He discusses Tommy Lee and Charlie Sheen visiting the set of The Return of Swamp Thing one day. He discusses shooting in the savannah and how they prepped the locations to keep the gators at bay. Mr. Wynorski discusses rewriting this script, adding the scenes with the kids and other elements because the original script was quote-unquote unfilmable. He discusses wanting a different Swamp Thing costume than the one they used in the original film, and what a wonderful job Dick DeRock did playing Swamp Thing, particularly under the conditions they shot the film in, the very hot conditions. Mr. Wynorski discusses wanting to make the film more tongue-in-cheek, as the first Swamp Thing had been far more serious. He discusses what a pain in the butt working with Louis Jourdan was. Very nice, informative, entertaining interview with Mr. Wynorski, a living legend in my book. Next up, we have an interview with Arnie Holland, the executive producer. It's 5 minutes and 20 seconds in length. Mr. Holland discusses the Return of Swamp Thing's journey to Blu-ray. He discusses the various deals that were made in order to get the film financed. He discusses talking Heather Locklear into doing the movie, actually into doing the Howard Stern show in order to promote the film. He discusses fighting with Harvey Weinstein over the poster for the theatrical release of the film. Harvey Weinstein did not like this image here. He actually had someone paint up like a very comic book looking image with Swamp Thing and Heather Locklear on it. A very enhanced Heather Locklear in certain areas. I'll leave that to your imagination, that she was not very happy with. But believe that Harvey Weinstein was someone very difficult to work with and get along with. Who'd have thunk it? Next up, we have an interview with composer Chuck Serino at 6 minutes and 47 seconds in length. Mr. Serino discusses composing the music for the film and how he created the different themes for The Return of Swamp Thing. Next up, we have an interview with editor Leslie Rosenthal. It's 9 minutes and 25 seconds in length. She discusses how she got the gig as editor of The Return of Swamp Thing. She discusses the hardest scenes in the film to cut. She discusses editing the scenes with the kids and how they ended up learning their dialogue by memorizing not just their own dialogue from the script, but everyone else's in the scene that they were with. So they recited everyone's dialogue during those sequences, and what a challenge it was cutting all that together. Very interesting. We also get a behind-the-scenes slideshow. We get public service announcements in which Swamp Thing discusses littering and promotes recycling. We get 2 TV spots, we get 6 promotional TV clips, we get a 5 minute and 18-second promo reel from 1989, we get a theatrical trailer and 2 commentaries. We get a commentary with Jim Wynorski from 2003 that was featured on the DVD, and we get a brand new commentary with Jim Wynorski, Chuck Serino, and Leslie Rosenthal. I listened to about 45 minutes of the commentary, of the new commentary, and it was pretty entertaining and pretty informative. This is a very nice release for The Return of Swamp Thing from the MVD Rewind collection. Again, if you've never seen The Return of Swamp Thing, I highly recommend it. This Blu-ray would be a great way to introduce yourself to the film. If you are a fan of The Return of Swamp Thing, This Blu-ray is definitely something that you should look into adding to your collection. The picture quality and the sound quality are both very good. You've got some great extras on here, and the packaging and all the accoutrements that come with this 30th Anniversary Collector's Edition are pretty darn cool. I'll put a link to MVD Rewind Collection's website in the description. Go over and check them out. Please let me know your thoughts on the return of Swamp Thing, on the original Swamp Thing that Wes Craven directed, or the Swamp Thing TV series that I vaguely remember from back in the day. Let's talk about all things Swamp Thing related in the comments section below. If you guys have not donated to the Support Crystal Lake fundraiser that I'm running right now, I'm working with Camp Nobi Bosco, which is the filming location of the original Friday the 13th. All of the screen-used cabins from the film are in need of repair. Please follow the link in the description. Check out the video that I made talking about the fundraiser and how necessary and how needed it is in order to preserve those cabins for future generations to enjoy as much as I enjoyed when I visited Camp Nobi Bosco back in April. Follow the link in the description, check out that video, and please consider donating. If you like this video, please leave it a thumbs up. If you're not following me on social media, those links are in the description. They're also right around here. As always, thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Take care, and until next time, peace. Join the $1 a month club and help support my channel on Patreon. Thank you to my current patrons: Kevin Smythe, Orc145626, B-Movie Mike, Stephen Flanagan, Lori Holt, Mitch Odell, Craig Farrand, Robert Sobel, Farron Sutton, Jeremiah Lambert, Turi Delamore, Joseph Charlesworth, Grindhouse Grotto, Derek Jana, PB Sam 6, Demon Waffles, Tim Williams, and Stone Gassman. Say hello to the internet, Jeremy.
Hello to the internet.